Yo, yeah. I'm not going anywhere just yet because I have one more video, and that is this episode here. I've been your host again, Super Ninja Austin. This is the latest edition of the later edition of the SNA podcast, which is episode 61 of the AEW Rampage review, part 8. Let's begin, and it starts off with a huge 8-man tag team match with the Hardy Boys and Best Friends taking on the former JAS members, Jake Hager, Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, and Daniel Garcia. And we're going to start off with let's see right here. Let's start off with the 8-man tag match, which it has Chuck Taylor and Cool Hand Angelo Parker and Chuck Taylor in the grappling moves. This is where Angelo Parker got the headlock right onto what's his name, to Angelo Parker. This is where he put, and then throws him right to the court, but he counters it. This is where he tags it, and Daniel Garcia. This is where he Irish whips Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia hits a shoulder tackle right into him. This is where not Daniel Garcia, Cool Hand Ange. He threw his hair grease right over all over Chuck Taylor's face, and then this is where he runs up. This is where he got his arm dragged right onto Chuck Taylor. This is where Chuck Taylor twisted his arm, spin him around a bit, tags in his tag partner, best friend Trent Beretta. This is where Irish whip. This is where he hits a speeding, running, hustling, tackling right onto Cool Hand Ange. Double tackle. This is where he eventually tags in Daniel Garcia. He's like, this is where he tags in Matt Hardy. At first, I thought they were going to do a dance off because they do their dances with their sticking out their pelvis area, of course. Yeah, but yeah, you get the point. This is where he shoulder tackles him. This is where Jeff Hart finally started doing that, but not doing a dance off. At least not just yet. This is where he ducked. This is where he tried to trip him over. This is where Daniel Garcia finally started doing the dance like this. And this is where Jeff Hardy goes like this, start doing this like this right here, doing the pose dance like yeah, I'm doing, hey bird, hey. This is where he clotheslines Daniel Garcia. This is where Cool Hand Angelo. This is where Jeff Hardy started doing it again. They start doing the dance off like this, like that. And then this is where Matt Menard attacks him, tackle him with a single accent. This is where Matt Hardy hits a right hand to knock out Matt Menard. This is where Daniel Garcia attacks in Jake Hager. Jake Hager with the tagging. This is where Jake Hager put him right in the ring, start hitting him with right hands right to the midsection, start punching him repeatedly to the charismatic Enigma. This is where he tags in Angelo Parker, hits a knuckle strike right into poor Hardy's face. This is where he tags in his brother Matt Menard. This is where Matt Hardy like, oh yeah, and he starts stomping on to Matt Hardy, like twisting his arm. Tags in Daniel Garcia. This is where he kicks him right in the midsection. This is where Irish whips him right to the top, to put him in their corner. Start with Daniel Garcia hitting right hands right into Jeff Hardy. Like beat. Like yeah, like I'm gonna make sure I'm putting Jeff Hardy out of this misery for good. If alcohol didn't put it out, if alcohol and drugs didn't put it out, I will. That's what he do, but he didn't bring it up because that was very unnecessary. Like I'm saying, like in a heel perspective, would say this is where he landed face first. I don't think his issues shouldn't be any storylines in wrestling, which is one of my opinions, along with everybody else's. This is where he tags in Jake Hager. This is where Jake Hager starts stomping on Jeff Hardy, trying to make him vulnerable and helpless and powerless. Even this is where he put him right in the corner. This is where he was in a guillotine position. This is where he got tagged in by I believe Daniel Garcia. Yeah, and then Daniel Garcia starts stomping on him like 5 times. And this is where the fans are chanting, "Let's go Hardy." This is where he tried to Irish whip Jeff Hardy. This is where Jeff Hardy countered into to the ropes, and he caught him into a flying clothesline right into the middle of the ring. This is where Jeff Hardy was like, "Yeah, like I need to get back up, tagging my brother or honor my teammate," which he did. He tagged in Trent Beretta. He hits 2 German suplexes. This is where I believe Daniel Garcia reversed. Yeah, it was Daniel Garcia that reversed. This is where he tried to go for a running maneuver. This is where he got booted right into the face, and long after been super kicked by Trent Beretta. This is where Trent Beretta was like, all right, like let's hit a Death Valley driver, which he did so, which is my signature move, of course. But this is where Matt Menard tried to attack Chuck Taylor, but he struck him with a right hand. This is where the Hardy brothers and Daniel Garcia Cool Hand Ange and Jake Hager came in. They started fighting Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy and the best friends. This is where Matt Hardy was hitting face first right into Tina Turnbuckle, which he probably getting his revenge from their time in WWE in the ECW version of WWE when he beat him for the ECW title. This is where Trent Beretta started hitting punches right onto, I believe, Daniel Garcia, and then he got stomps to Matt Menard by Chuck Taylor. Jeff Hardy got Cool Hand Angelo Parker right on the top, and everybody was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and delete with Matt Hardy saying, and half the fans saying while the other one's counting up to 10. And this is where both best friends and the Hardy Boys hit their opponents, the 4 members of the former JAS, right into each other. This is when they started looking around. It was like, and then this was Excalibur says his line when best friends give each other a hug. He's like, you just got to give the people what they want. Like, yeah, like you're doing it with the Hardy. This is where Chuck Taylor hits the right hand right to Cool Hand Ange. This is where Trent Beretta came back into. This is where he knocks out Daniel Garcia as well. This is when Trent Beretta hits a moonsault right to everybody, the 2.0 guys, Matt Menard, Angelo Parker. Jake Hager hits a flying running clothesline. Jake Hager with a flying clothesline, I should say. This is when he started screaming like if he was We the People again. And then this is where they get back in the ring. This is where Matt Hardy goes for a twist of fate. And then this to Daniel Garcia. This is where Angelo Parker came saved the day for Daniel Garcia. This is where they double Irish whipped him right into Matt Hardy, which he hits a knee and elbow strike right into him. This is where Angelo Parker hits an elbow strike, a forearm elbow strike right into the face of Matt Hardy, throws him right to Matt Menard. He trips him over. This is where they do their signature tag team move, which they used. He used Matt Menard as a stepping stool to step on to do an elbow drop. This is where Jake Hager hits his top rope, mid rope. What's that? He used to do in WWE, like he goes on mid rope and jump and flies off and right onto Matt Hardy, like running that signature move from himself in his time in WWE, of course. This is where Daniel Garcia goes for a pinfall to Matt Hardy, but he probably would have gotten the win for them. But this is where Jeff Hardy came for the save and saved his brother and his allies into this tag match. This is where he hits him with this is where Jake Hager came in and hits a reverse side flying spine buster right onto Jeff Hardy. This is where he tried to run up to Chuck Taylor, but he hit him with a hang gliding rope drop kick right onto Jake Hager. This is where Angelo Parker hit the drop kick right onto Chuck Taylor. This is where Trent Beretta got him and hit him with a tornado DDT. This is where Matt Menard picks him up, try to go for a power bomb. And he did so, but soon after, twist of fate from Matt Hardy, like his version of the move, of course. And then this is where he got a missile drop kick, making Gunther envious because he thinks he does a middle of the ring missile drop kick more better than any wrestler in combining all professional wrestling. But I think he turned out to be wrong. But soon after, Matt Hardy hit the twist of fate right on to try to go for the twist of fate, but he started trying to go for a Dragon Slayer, but he pushed Daniel Garcia off, which he actually ran into Matt Menard, but he landed right on the Anna Jay, right through Barry Barricade. And then this is where Jake Hager and Angelo Parker start checking on the Anna Jay. I hope she's okay. I hope she didn't legitimately sustained an injury. This is when Matt Hardy This is where Jeff Hardy hits a twist of fate right onto I believe, this is where Daniel Garcia. He twisted faded Daniel Garcia. This is where hits hit this this is where Trent Beretta does this Kanoku driver maneuver right onto him. And then soon after, Matt Hardy tags in Jeff Hardy. He hits the Swanton Bomb for the 1-2-3. And this was a very entertaining match to start off the Friday night show of AEW Rampage. And what you thought about this match genuinely of being just a filler, entertaining six-man show? Y'all let me know in the comments down below. But let's move on to this interview with Renee Paquette. Renee Paquette taking interviewing Eddie Kingston of him being sitting with the commentator for both whoever wins this Fatal 4-Way match between Johnny TV, Lince Dorado, Commander, and Penta El Zero Miedo, like for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship, which was on the side of the arm of Eddie Kingston. This is where Eddie Kingston's like, well, I'm ready to go for any point to face anybody. This is where Sanjay Dutt interrupts. He's like, congratulations, Eddie Kingston, from your past match, from this past Sunday against Shibata at Wrestle Dreams. And then he's like, also, after last week on Rampage, like, you disrespected my best friend Jay Lethal. He called me. He called all of us, as a matter of fact. He's like, I'm not coming into work because I don't want to see this guy's face, like, and not talk to him at all whatsoever. And he's like, so I'm gonna do speaking for my boy Jay Lethal. And he's like, I'm also gonna you disrespect a former ROH. He's like, you disrespected a former ROH champion, an ROH TV champion, and the former ROH Grand Slam champion combined. Oh yeah, and he's like, you disrespected a former ROH tag team champion as well. My mistake on that. And then he's like, how dare you stupid. He was like, how dare you, stupid son of a. And he cut himself off. Like, I'm not going to go there and be like you, what you would have said by now. He's like, that title, you're going to put up against them, Eddie Kingston. This is where you could give that title up, Mr. Kingston. This is where Jeff Jarrett was like, yeah, Mr. Kingston, what are you going to do? You're going to do the right thing? Eddie Kingston laughed like my dad would do. And this is where Eddie Kingston's like, you didn't do anything in your life, dude. Like, all right, now, like, thanks a lot. That's not necessary. Like, yeah, please. And then this is where he told Satnam, he's like, all right, please stop breathing on me. Like, that's very uncomfortable. Like, you feel me? You're good? Like, he's like, all right, here's the deal. I'll defend it against Jay. And when he proves stuff about me, when he proved that he's still saying Jay Lethal from Ring of Honor, and not the crowd will run around with you and this carnage son of a bitch. Now, all right, then I'll defend this championship. You want to prove it to me, huh? Until then, excuse my back, partner. Like, talk to you again, Satnam. And he's like, and then this was Stokely Hathaway let all of Jay Lethal's friends is like, with all due respect for all of you, like you Satnam, I don't like you, and I don't like. I was like, Stokely Hathaway's making a lot of appearances ever since he made his return and made his announcement about Eddie Kingston defending his New Japan, not New Japan, I mean his Ring of Honor World Championship, because he is in management in Ring of Honor. This is where. But anyway, this is with all due disrespect, like, I did interrupt, like, I don't like all you, and this was like, yeah, I refuse to say that, but you have a very, but he's like, I have a very, very interesting proposition for you guys, and this is where he whispered into Sanjay Dutt's ears, like, and it was something that Sanjay Dutt, like, he was like, what? He was getting very excited, like, are you serious about this? Okay, and it'll be a deal, like, if that's the case, like. And he's like, don't touch my giant, okay? I was like, dang, like, you're in love with Satnam Singh. Like, you sound like some jealous woman touching your man. Like, but you're not even a woman. But anyways, what do you thought about the segment? What do you think about the return of the on-screen appearances with Stokely Hathaway? And you think they're going to continue, especially with and what's going on the side of things with Ring of Honor? y'all, or even make some angles in AEW like while he's on TV with all Elite Wrestling. Y'all let me know down in the comments below. But let's see right here. Next up, we have. This is where we got a vignette of on TV that said "Love that housing," like, not housing, which is possibly the return of Danhausen. I think he is making his return. Hopefully he is, because that guy, he may be ugly and somewhat odd, but he's still entertaining, especially when he was aligned with best friends, including Orange Cassidy. And hopefully he continues that, because now it has so much potential. And with Orange Cassidy teaming with Hook, we can also see a trio alliance with Orange Cassidy, Hook, and Danhausen. It will be Orange Cassidy and Hookhausen for going for the AEW Trios Champion. Even though this is like a made-up trios alliance, but it could possibly work if AEW can successfully capitalize on it. And what do you think about Danhausen's return? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. I would love to see that. He's very entertaining. But yeah. Let's move on to the next match, which is Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli taking on these jobbers. Let's see. Which is Levi Shapiro and Guy Ruse. Ruse. Which it didn't really take long at all, because the Blackpool Combat Club mostly got the offense with what's the name taking on Guy Ruse, or no, it was Shapiro, yeah. He's all hitting an abdominal stretch right onto Shapiro, and then this is where he got so hard to the point like he could have took the arm out of his socket. This is where he's stomping right to the ropes. This is where Shapiro started defending himself and started hitting right hands right onto the Blackpool Combat Club member. This is where Wheeler Yuta trying to defend himself, but he getting hit. This is where he finally ducked. This is where he started hitting punches and chops and forearms and then chops, which was starting to get to the point of getting devastated to make Gunther getting to that level of making Gunther envious once again. This is where Wheeler Yuta starts screaming into the ear of Shapiro. This is where he ducks and lifts him up and hit him with a spinning sidewalk Olympic slam put together, Majig. This is where Wheeler Yuta tags in Claudio, and then he clotheslined him, and he started hitting elbow strikes right onto the head and the neck of Shapiro. Starts striking after strike. This is where Guy Rouge came in and booting him right into the face. This is where Claudio's like, Wheeler, take care of this bald-headed fool. And I hope he didn't say that, though, because that would kind of sound hypocritical. But this is where Wheeler Yuta came in and booted him right into the face. This is where he starts stomping right in the face, repeatedly starts stomping right to the chest of Guy Rouge. And then this is where he spin around. They spin around against Shapiro, which they did so. Claudio did it like probably nearly 20 times in a row. Start spinning around. Everybody start counting to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. He's like 11, 12, like which he did 12 spins. Let me refresh. He had the drop kick that looks similar to Tyson Kidd when Cesaro used to team with the former tag team champion and the husband of Natalya. This is where Claudio drop kicks Rouge out of there. This is where he drags him right into the middle of the ring. This is where he tags in Wheeler Yuta. This is where he climbs up on the shoulders of Claudio to hit their finishing move. It's just the faster special splash right onto Shapiro. This is where they got the 1, 2, 3, and I was like, yeah. It looked like a 5-minute long match with Shapiro doing all the fighting and barely got a couple of offense in. But this is where he got the win. They celebrated. And what do you think was next for these two members of the BPCC. I would love to hear that from you guys. But this is where we got a backstage interview from the former JAS guys, the Daniel Garcia, Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, Jake Hager, and Anna Jay. And then this is where this is a huge opportunity for you. And obviously, unfortunately, a loss. That's what Renee Paquette said. It's like, what do you know? This is what I bump, and then I actually bump into Matt. Matt actually bumped into Anna. And then Matt Hardy. And I'm facing Matt and Best Friends and Jeff all by myself, and I couldn't do that. And then this is where Matt Menard kind of got defensive because he said like, wait, what do you mean by saying? What are you saying about? What do you mean by you have to do that all by yourself? Like, what are you saying about it? Like, what do you think of yourself? Like, you know what I think. Like, what are you concerned about? Like, all you think about is yourself right now. And he's like, what do you think is a disco peg? And we're trying to win a match, not a dance off. And he's like, and then this is where Angelo Parker was like, and we just standing together and we're trying to prove that we made the right decision. And we failed right there. But we failed as a family. From now on, we're going to go take Anna to the doctor, get her checked out, and then we're going to do it as a family. So, all right, everybody, let's go. And then for that, hopefully she's doing okay, Miss Jack Perry. But yeah, this is where Jake Hager stared at Daniel Garcia, saying that self-absorbed statement about he was doing that all by himself there, and then that's kind of pissed off and made Matt Menard offended. This is where, and we're gonna move on to this fatal four-way number contenders match. And I was like, heck, like they should have renamed the Ring of Honor World Championship into the Ring of Hispanic World Championship. Sorry about that stuttering. But anyways, the Ring of Hispanic World Championship, because everybody that was in this match were Hispanic. Even the champion himself, Eddie Kingston's Hispanic. He's just Puerto Rican, while all four of these guys are Mexican, of course. Yeah, the likes of because it was Lince Dorado, Commander, Panta El Zero Miedo, and Johnny TV. Which Johnny TV is the only guy that's not a luchador. But yeah, let's move on to because it looks like if they're fighting for a triple A title, but it don't have to be triple A. Even though obviously you don't have to be a triple A title just to be a championship. But yeah, this is where before I begin to finish before I start with the recap, this is where Penta like El Zia Miedo when Johnny TV tried to do the pose that he usually did. He did the death triangle in his face rub, and then this is where Commander hit the super kick right into his face. But I was like, yeah, this is the most goofiest wrestling of the night. Like, yeah, you always keep goofy wrestling no matter what. But anyway, this is where everybody was in the ringside. This is where Johnny TV got back up. This is where he hits try to go for a diving corkscrew splash, but wasn't intercepts into a Pele kick, Penta El Zero Miedo. This is where Penta got in super kick, I believe was the Commander, when he tried to attack him from behind. This is where he tried to go for a crossbody right off the top rope, which is the most comeback move in all sports entertainment, recently said by Simon into the ups and downs of AEW Dynamite a day ago. But this is where he super kicks. After he crossbody, he super kicks Johnny TV when they all got back up. He went to the top right corner of Tina the Turnbuckle. This is where he's like doing the pose, mocking Johnny TV. This is where he tried to run up and try to attack him. He kicks him right into the face. This is where he grabs him right to the middle of the ring. This is where he spins him around, looking like this could be some kind of a nod to hardcore Bob Holly, which he used to do. But this is where Penta El Zero Miedo grab onto the ropes, not trying to get Alabama slammed by the former Intercontinental Champion. This is where he counters into a Canadian Destroyer. This is what made Johnny TV roll right out of the ring. This is where Eddie Kingston's like, yeah, whoa, indeed. Like, and this is where Commander try to run up and try to splash onto Penta. This is where he flips him over over the top rope. Right, he landed right onto the apron. This is where he grabbed on his hand. This is where he countered, and he tried to he grabbed him by his hand, and this is where he tried to go for a springboard crossbody, but he got intercepted by Penta with hitting the Pele against the Geary. This is where I believe Lindsay Dorado got back in the match. He tried to go up. He tried to go for a splat, but he was ready for him to go for some kind of a senton leg drop right on to the former I don't know championships he won, but to the former WWE superstar. This is where he runs and slides down before Penta could do anything. This is where Penta runs up and try to go for everybody with a diving senton splash, which they all caught him, but they fell down in a bruised mess. This is where he started doing the running move. But this is where we realized Johnny TV didn't sell the somersault splash right off the top rope. This is where he attacks him from behind with a shove right through to the stage ramp, makes him roll right up the ramp. This is where Johnny TV's like, yeah, the former Johnny Drip is back in the game. He's like, that opportunity is mine, Penta. You had plenty of your opportunities. Just because your brother is a singles champion doesn't mean you're gonna be one anytime soon. Not if the Johnny Sexy here is gonna be in the match. Anyway, this is where he threw him right to barricade. This is where he was he hits him with a couple of right strikes and side kicks. This is where Commander barely hits him with a couple of hits. This is where he starts sideswiping, kicking, threw him right back to barricade, which I'm not sure if he's still alive, but maybe it's a different barricade, probably Larry Barricade, maybe, perhaps. But this is where Lindsay Dorado caught him, hit him from behind, throws him back in the ring. This is where Lindsay Dorado goes head to head with him. It's where all were back in the ring. Lindsay Dorado trying to go for a flying DDT, but Johnny TV hits him with a gut buster, or should I say a nut buster. This is where he catches him up into a fireman's carry. This is where he hits him with a diving back Samoan drop with him doing a backflip in the process, perfectly doing a backflip. And then this is where he hits a standing moonsault right onto Lindsay Dorado. This is where he pins, try to go for a one, try to go for a two, but Commander was right on time, saved the match, I should say. And this is where Commander starts to hit him right to the head. This is where he hits him with a right hand. This is where he starts hitting him with right hooks, left hooks, and hit him with a front right strike. And then this is where he tried to Irish whip him, but he countered, ducks, twist and duck under his arm. This is where he tried to go for a abdominal stretch right on to the Commander. Let's see. And then this is where he turned into some kind of a gory lock, but he turned into a power slam. This is where Johnny's like, yeah, I'm not completely finished yet. I move him right on the side, and then this looked like the moment that he'd been waiting for, whereas he's trying to get an opportunity for the Ring of Honor World Champion, try to go for Starship Pain, but before he had a chance to do, because he took extra time to get up right onto the top rope and do his move, because Commander snuggly grabbed him down with a schoolboy roll-up, which is known as the most devastating move in all sports entertainment. And this is where but before he could pin him, this is where Johnny TV counters, rammed him right into the corner of the turnbuckle. This is where he and then put him right on the top rope. This is where Johnny TV was getting ready to do some kind of a maneuver, whether it was a Spanish Fly or Hurricane Rana. But before he could do anything, this is where Commander started elbow striking Johnny TV right off the top rope. This is where he was like, no more sleep time for Johnny TV. This is where Lindsay Dorado got caught him right on the top rope. This is where Hurricane Rana, this is where he hits the most perfect Hurricane Rana, and this was going to be a double combo Hurricane Ranas that I ever seen in all professional wrestling, because Lince Dorado hits a springboard top rope Hurricane Rana right on the Commander, and he landed right on the Johnny TV, and he hits him with a Hurricane Rana right off, with him landed right off the top rope. And then this is where Penta El Zio Miedo tried to Hurricane Rana, Lince Dorado reverse. This is where he tried to go for some kind of a springboard monkey flip bar on the outside, but I think that kind of botched. And then this is where they both, but he make it up by landing him right into the ground. This is where Lince Dorado went right on the top rope, tried to go for a moonsault, which he successfully did so to both Johnny TV and Penta. This is where Commander started running onto the ropes like if he was Ray Phoenix, and he did a dip right onto the ropes that was right in front on top of them. This is where he dips and hits a dot at the most perfectionately sideways moonsault dive that I've ever seen in all of professional wrestling. Like, I was like, wow, that was insanely incredible, I should say, to say the least. Like, yeah, I was like, how did Commander do that? I haven't seen him do that move at all ever since being in AEW. This is where Commander tried to capitalize right on the Lince Dorado. He's like, finish him. And he starts dipping on the ropes. He hits him with the 450 splash. He got the 1-2-3 onto the debuting Lince Dorado. And yeah, Commander is now the new number one contender for Eddie Kingston's Ring of Honor's World Championship. And what do you think about and it's gonna not that before I said, but anyway, it's gonna happen tomorrow night at AEW's Collision. We're gonna talk about that. It's gonna be the 63rd episode of the podcast. And what do you think about this match being on Collision? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. And who do you think is gonna win? Which I bet y'all already guessed is obviously gonna be Eddie Kingston, because he's nowhere near gonna lose that title anytime soon. Not even to Jay Lethal either, because he's gonna hold that title for a while until someone potentially defeats Eddie Kingston, aka the Mad King. Like, same what he did with to what's his name, to Claudio Castagnoli. And I was like, wow, Commander, I was expecting Johnny TV or Penta El Zio Miedo, but I did not know Commander would do this. Like, Commander really pulled this off. But anyways, this is where we got Santana with a message. He's like, I'm supposed to do this eye to eye with you, Mike Santana, like a man, someone like you claim to be. Like, he was like, yeah, here we go. Like, said no, and just went home and protest. Like, some tough guy that you are. Like, I'm here still standing here. Like, where are you? At home, watching this. Here's the truth. You're still that same sad little kid in the staircase in that project. In the fight you caused. This tough guy persona that you claim to have. Stuff, this gangster is the defense of the niggas. That fragile little kid as you are on the inside. But you were a man, you'll be standing right here looking me in my eye and taking this from your brother. But you know for more than truth. You know this. People look up to us. People like us don't achieve hypes like very often. And when you do, they celebrate this. People look up to you as a role model and an idol even. He's like, and you spit on them. You spit up meat. You're not who it came to be, and I'm going to expose you. Karma took your one knee. And he said, I'm going to take your other knee when next time we go on face to face. It looks like we're going to see a potential match. Hopefully, it's going to be at full gear. Because that'll make sense on paper, because they've been hyping this up from the last few weeks about Santana and Ortiz are no longer teaming together, and they don't have, and Santana don't have nothing to do with Ortiz. But before there was even a feud, I believe this was for real. Like, and Tony Khan turned this into some kind of a feud into the storyline into AEW programming, of course. But what do you think? Who do you think is going to win when they have their potential match, one-on-one, face-to-face with one another? Y'all let me know down below as well on that. Because this is getting very interesting. They're mixing reality with kayfabe, which that's very interesting. And yeah, he made good points about that too, because most guys like them, they never have opportunities of a lifetime of being in the big stage and into this industry. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that more later. We got some. Up next, we got the Native Beast Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir taking on the TBS champion Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida. This is where Mark Henry used to say, "It's time for the main event." And speaking of the world's strongest man, I'm wondering where he has been, because I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. Since Rampage a couple weeks ago. Hopefully he's doing okay, and there's nothing wrong with the world's strongest man. And I hope we see him soon, because that never gets old. When he says that catchphrase, it's time for the main event. And then, but anyway, this is where we got the tag match. I'll tell Chris Statlander, make sure you hide that TBS championship nice and hidden. So not because Nyla Rose have a thing of stealing it. Just ask the woman that you beat for that championship and successfully defended it against, that's now signed to WWE, which is obviously Jay Cargill reference. But anyways, this is where we have the match. This is where where's where I'm gonna start right here. This is where Nyla Rose said, "I got the towel. What are you gonna do about it? You got CD." Hopefully she didn't say that though, because that'll be very awkward. But anyway, she started kneeing her right into his face. This referee's like, "What?" Kneeing her, not right into her back and her neck, and then her face and throat right into the rope. And referee got her off her. This is where Marina Shafir kicks her right into the face. This is where Nyla Rose picks her up right back in the ring. This is where she tried to go for a suplex. This is where she started elbowing and striking and hitting her with right hands. This is where she continue to try to go for a suplex, but she slowly but surely lifted her up and slammed her right into the canvas. This is where she tags in Marina Shafir. This is where she grabbed onto her leg, started side-swiping, kicking the side of her legs. She started continue repeatedly doing that. This is where she got her into a single leg Boston Crab. This is where she tried to reach for Chris Statlander when she tried to counter the former four horsewoman, but one fourth of the horsewoman of UFC. This is where this is where she pulls her back. This is where she tags in Nyla Rose. This is where Nyla Rose took over and then dragged more of her leg, and she started bending it back even worse than Marina was doing. She bent it back, twisting it into a pretzel and putting her foot right in, booting her head, the back of her head, her boot right into the back of her head. I was like, man, I know you did not like Hikaru, but you not have to go this far and try to turn her into a human Japanese pretzel. You don't have to go that far. Nobody don't deserve that. You're going way too far. And this is where she started raking her right into her face to Hikaru. Started into a camel clutch position. This is where the referee, when she got into the ropes, this referee said, come on, get off of her. Before I give you the 5-second DQ warning. 1, 2. This is where she got off. This is where she lifts her up, try to toy with her, pick her up, and try to probably do her signature move. This is where Hikaru Shida was fighting back with her right hands. This is where she runs right into the ropes, but she got intercepted by the Native Beast with a Samoan drop right out of nowhere. This is where she tags in Marina Shafir. She got her in a guillotine position. This is where she tags herself into the match. This is where they did a double team with her whipping her right onto their corner of the bottom right corner of Tina the Turnbull. This is where she hit the springboard crossbody on both Rose and Shafir, which is the most comeback move in all sports entertainment. That totally did fit that description, because that's exactly what she did. She made her comeback. She finally tags in the TBS champion Chris Statlander into the match. This is where Chris Statlander started hitting forearms and clotheslines right into the corner to both Marina Shafir and Nyla Rose. This is where Nyla Rose got her with a clothesline, a lariat, I believe. This is where she hits a running senton right onto the TBS chair, but she got knee right into her back. This is where Chris Statlander lifts her back up. This is where she hits her with a body slam right onto her to her back. And this is where she pins her, but she only got a 2 even count. This is what Chris Statlander tells Aubrey Edwards in a frustrating manner, saying, "What, are you serious? You cannot be joking much more." Like, and this is where hey Tway, hey little birdie, yeah, it's the SNA pod. Does this look familiar? This is where Chris Statlander tried to do the electric chair maneuver right off the top rope. This is where Nyla Rose got out of it, but thanks to distractions with what's her name, with Marina Shafir, and she got taken out by the Native Beast with another clothesline from it. This time she flew and did a 360 right into midair, probably 3 feet in the air. But this is where Nyla Rose was stumbling. This is where it looked like, and she decided to pin Chris Statlander. But when she pinned her, the referee counted 1, the referee counted 2, and then this is where she kicks out. This is where she tags in Marina Shafir. This is where they try to go for a double. This is where she put her in a tree slam position, lifting up double hands in the air. This is where Marina Shafir started hitting chops and punches right onto Statlander's back, trying to look like they're torturing her, trying to get money out of her, like they're like a couple of mafia thugs mugging poor Chris Statlander. The chop punch. It don't seem like it hurts, but it probably really do, because after all, Marina Shafir used to, or unless she still does, do MMA on the side, along with probably while on the side of being a professional wrestler, like her friends Jessamine Duke, Shayna Baszler, and Ronda Rousey. But yeah, she was doing that for like 15 times in a row. Boom! While she slammed her with the double tree slam. This is where she pins her into some kind of an odd amateur style pin. This is where she have came in for the save right after Aubrey Edwards counted the 2, which was a smart move from the former AEW Women's World Champion. I'm not sure she would have won without. I don't think she would have came out with the victory without her. But this is where she tried to tag in Hikaru, but this is where Marina Shafir started hitting or kicking back her knee and going forward and kneeing Chris Statlander with her knees right into the midsection like 2 times in a row. She tried to go for the 3rd time as the charm, but she counters the move. She hits the least devastating move in all sports entertainment. Excuse me, the most devastating move in all sports entertainment, which is the Blue Thunder Bomb. And do you think it worked? Yeah, like usual, no. I'll say the only wrestler that does the most devastating Blue Thunder Bomb in all of professional wrestling is none other than Sami Zayn himself, which is the guy that possibly invented that maneuver, if not nobody else that inspired him to do that move. But yeah, that didn't work. But even though that, mostly because she didn't pin her to see if it worked. Let's hope this curse does be broken in professional wrestling of somebody hitting the most devastating Blue Thunder Bomb that will make it the 2nd most devastating move in all sports entertainment. But this is where Nyla Rose came in, tried to interfere, close on. She ducks out of Nyla Rose's clothesline. She hits a swinging roundhouse kick right into the head. This is where she landed. She went cuckoo and landed face first right through the canvas. This is where she tags in Hikaru Shida. This is where, and the Hikaru Shida was on hype mode because she started going crazy, started shaking her arms, and she was right on the top rope, hit the another most comeback move in all sports entertainment, the double crossbody to them once again. This is where she hits This is where she hits a Falcon Arrow on Marina Shafir. This is where she hits the Falcon Arrow right on the Marina Shafir, right into the ring. She tried to go for a 1. She got to go for a 2, but she kicks out at 2.99999. And this is where Aubrey Edwards reminded Hikaru Shida that it's 2. Like, yeah, you're not crazy. Like, yeah, I specifically counted 2. This is where she tried to go for the top rope, which was probably the most dumbest move to go to the the most dumbest move looking at realistically to go into the heel side, both Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir's side, try to go for the top rope because there was Nyla Rose hit her with a single axe handle, grab her off the top rope. This is where she puts her on the apron. This is where she grabs on her head. This is where she tried to go for some kind of a this is where she puts her wedge right in between in her midsection onto the rope. This is where she was hanging on to the top rope and to the bottom side of the ropes in the ring. This is where Nyla Rose goes right up on the top rope. This is where she tried to go for a diving knee drop right into the top of Hikaru's head. This is where Chris Statlander got her into finally got her into electric chair position. This is where Hikaru got up on the top rope and hits her with a clothesline that didn't look like it was too brutal, but still enough to bring it down the native beast. This is where she hits the katana right onto. This is where she hits the katana right onto Marina Shafir, and then she. And then this is where she was like, no. Yeah, this is where she hits the katana. This is where she hits the maneuver. This is where she hits Soraya's finishing move, that DDT Buster Majig, that's formerly known as the PTO. I forget the name of it. She took, which was taking a page off of Soraya's playbook, and that helped him got the 1, 2, 3. And your winners tonight are the top baby faces in AEW. The AEW OGs, the babyface AEW OGs, which is Hikaru Shida and the TBS champion Chris Statlander, and that's how AEW Rampage ended tonight, with a satisfying ending for their show too, just like SmackDown, and this was a great show. I would give this show AEW Rampage like 4. I'll say 4 out of the 5 stars, which was so good. And then, yeah, she faces Saraya at the Title Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. And what do you think about who do you think is going to win this AEW Women's Championship match between Saraya or Saraya is going to retain, or Hikaru Shida is going to become the new champion, become the first ever 3-time AEW Women's World Championship? I'm going to let y'all decide in the comments down below. And then, yeah, I guess I'm going to end this video right here. Hopefully you enjoyed. And if you did, please make sure you leave a huge thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe, click the bell notification, share this video and all my other videos in this SNA content with your friends on all over social media, whether it be in Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, you name it. Like, just share it, and then they can watch it, and they can watch it in like 7 days out of the week, like with wrestling news and wrestling show reviews. And then speaking of more reviews, we're gonna be doing another back-to-back video with my third ever premium live event review, which is gonna be WWE Fastlane review, which will be less than 24 hours from now, and same with AEW Collision. And then make sure to watch that, and I hope you do, guys. And you viewers, I see you guys tomorrow, and hope y'all have a great night. And I've been your host, Super Ninja Austin. This was the 61st episode of the SNA podcast, which is the AEW Rampage review part 8, like along with SmackDown's review part 8. And I hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Super Ninja Austin, the assassin, out.